Alright, so now we're going to start working on the lower leg area. And what I decided is I'm actually just going to duplicate the upper thigh area. And this will give me a consistent look over the parts and make you feel like they're made out of the same pieces. And I'm just going to start kind of pinching and pulling and kind of manipulating the shape to kind of feel like it's different, a little bit more curved, but in the same family. So this saves us a ton of time and also just helps overall make it kind of feel like it's consistently the same manufacturer and parts company. I really didn't like the way that the leg was kind of sitting, so kind of decided I wanted to make a little custom bracket for how these legs were actually connected. And then this bracket would also kind of help it actually actuate when it's done. So always trying to think about how this can actually work in real life and how this piece might actually bend out. So here, as I'm actually just using the ellipse tool because it's easier to just make a white ellipse and then a black ellipse inside to kind of give a dish look, than having to try to hand paint it. It would just take too long, so it's just faster to use the tools in Photoshop. And never be afraid to do that. It's not cheating, it's being smart. So just kind of combining these and attaching them together in a more consistent look. And here what I'm doing is I'm just kind of painting in and giving a little bit of a highlight, trying to make it look a little bit more three-dimensional. Giving it that edge is really going to kind of bring it to life. Help us define where it starts and where it stops. So I'm just cleaning it up, looking for places where the perspective's a little bit off, and just trying to make sure this looks like it actually would support the leg. Adding in a little bit of shadow just in the bottoms as it curves. That way we can kind of tell that it's curving away from the light source. And then a little bit of darkening just to kind of give it a little bit of a faux bevel instead of it just being 100% flat material. Coming in here, adding some more little highlights. It really help kind of pop our surfaces, and the highlights, not only do they help serve separating the angles of the surfaces, but they also help it kind of separate the form from the other forms surrounding it. So here what I did is I just cheated, duplicated it, and then I hid it behind the other layers of the lower leg. And that really helped kind of just give me the same exact shape, but made it look a little more symmetrical and a little bit more finished. So I'm going to make sure I name all this stuff, kind of put it in folders, so we can keep track of it all. And I really wasn't feeling how dark this was. It was just a little too bold. So just playing around with some ideas. Maybe there's like a bolt type looking thing inside. A little bit of a highlight on it, just for some interest. And then trying to bring out a little bit more of the highlight and a little bit more of a bevel on the edge of the bracket we've made for the knee. So this area needed a little bit of refinement, a little bit of love. Didn't really make any sense. So just trying to paint in some little connection pieces. Just trying to imagine what this piece would be and how the pipe would pipe into it, and how the little wire kind of connects, maybe it runs behind it. Little panels, how the light's catching on it. And so it's moving backwards, so I'm trying to think about just a perspective and how it could actually move back in space and just being a flat object. So just working out, maybe there's this little piece that overlaps from the side. This is nice because, again, it gives us those really nice little areas where we have overlap. And the overlapping really helps kind of sell that the object has depth. So it's a win-win. Just trying to get the kind of like the lighting right on it so it feels like it's wrapping. Feels a little more like a little panel there. And trying to figure out all the little inner workings here. Kind of cleaning this up. It was a little jagged for my liking. And using the smudge brush here to just add some potential variation, just so we don't have a 100% straight line there. You know, the rest of the mesh, we don't have too many 100% straight lines. So I'm just trying to kill those. So here what I did is I just ended up duplicating the entire bottom leg, and I'm going through and just naming everything real quick just to keep it clean. And then that way I can kind of layer it and organize it in the right way that they all sit right, and then just erase out that silhouette in the right way.